So hello, everybody. I am Fanola Fabone, and I'm the Associate Director of the First Year Experience here at Orientation and Transition Programs. And so on behalf of our office, we wanted to welcome you to another exciting Wednesday webinar here with our friends from Student Engagement. We're excited to talk more about some resources that will be helpful for you all in your transition to UVA. So just a few general reminders. We continue to push out a lot of helpful to-do list items in your new student portal. So just check that out. If you have any questions about anything related to your transition to UVA, always welcome to email us at orientation@virginia.edu. We're really happy to hear any questions that you have. And just keep an eye on that UVA email. All of the communication that we send comes directly to your UVA email, so not the one that you applied to. So again, a lot of things to remember, but the most important thing to remember is that we're so excited that you're here and to be a resource to you. So with no further ado, I will turn it over to my friends at Student Engagement and allow them to introduce themselves to all of you.
Yay! I'm super excited to be here, y'all. This is like my first time presenting for orientation in my new role, so I'm super excited. My name is Tanisha. I use she, her pronouns. I work in the Office of Student Engagement as the 1515 program coordinator. And yeah, so this is, and my colleague Brittany. Well, we'll introduce ourselves a little bit later on in the presentation. I'm like jumping ahead because I'm excited. But yeah, we're student engagement. We pretty much oversee all of the student organizations here on grounds, as well as a few leadership programs and things like that. So all things involvement definitely come to us. We're located in Newcomb Hall. Hopefully, like during your orientation, you got a chance, or you'll have a chance to see Newcomb Hall and everything. But we're located on the first floor in the PAC. Like if you come in the building, first floor, the biggest space on the first floor, pretty much. But okay. All right. So again, as I said, myself and my colleague Brittany are the ones here tonight, but this is our team. Dave Markey is our director of student engagement. Tyree, who's away at a conference right now, is our assistant director of student engagement. And then I'm the 1515 program coordinator again. And Brittany, I'll let you. Yeah.
I'll introduce myself here. So my name is Brittany Terry. I'm a program coordinator in student engagement. I primarily work with our CIOs on grounds, which is our student organizations. As of right now, I also advise the Women's Leadership Development Program, and you'll hear more about that later.
Yep. And just a little bit more about my role as well. So I kept saying that I'm the 1515 program coordinator, but 1515 is a student activity space located on the corner of UVA. I don't know if you all are familiar with the corner, probably not. You'll get familiar with it really quickly though. But it's the strip of restaurants directly located behind the rotunda. And there's a student space there for you all to come and just like hang out, get some reprieve between classes if you want to, before classes, after classes, and all of that good stuff. And so I'm in charge of basically running that building and the programming and things that you'll see in there too. We can go to the next slide. All right, so as student engagement, of course, we offer a few things. So advising, and when we say advising, we mean like supporting some of our, what is it called, SSOs, which are fancier student organizations. I mean, yeah, student organizations, if that makes sense. Like the University Programs Council. We help, in parentheses, the University Board of Elections, as well as the student council. And then we also support CIOs. That's Brittany's domain. That's what she's mainly responsible for. Again, leadership development. So the Women Leadership Development Program, as well as our Blueprint Leadership Program and a few others that we're establishing in the upcoming semester. And then programming. So like different events and things that you'll see around grounds as well. All right, and then again, like I said, organizations and groups we advise, Blueprint Leadership Development Program, as well as the Women's Leadership Development Development Program, also known as WLDP. That's what we'll refer to it as. That's what you'll hear it around grounds as. And both of these programs are geared towards first year and second year students. And those applications open up in the fall, but we'll get to that a little bit later. I'm again jumping ahead. We also advise student council, university programs council, and things like that. All right, so to just give you all a little bit more, a few more details about some of the leadership programs we offer, we'll get right into it. So here's Blueprint Leadership Program. And you can read the slides, but Blueprint is pretty much a program for students to help develop the fundamental leadership skills and qualities. So like, if you're looking to become like a leader in a CIO or student organization, also just preface this, we call student organizations CIOs, short for contracted independent organizations. I think that's what it is, contracted independent organizations. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brittany.
You got it.
Okay. But CIOs and student organizations are pretty much the same thing. But if you're looking to, get involved in the leadership of some organizations, once you get to grounds, Blueprint is a really good program that'll help you kind of facilitate and navigate, or not facilitate, but develop some of those leadership skills and things that you want to have before getting into those roles and taking, charge. And then, like I said before, these applications open up in the fall, around September. Sometimes it'll be pushed back to October, just depending on, I guess, like the ebb and flow of the way that the semester is going. And we accept about 50 to 70 applicants per year. Again, we like to focus this on first year, second year students. And it'll take place in the spring semester. So you'll apply in the fall, get acclimated with like what you'll be doing as your for your project during the fall. And then in the spring is when everything will really kick off, and that's when you'll get into some of those developmental pieces really, in those workshops that'll help you to develop your leadership skills.
I'll take the next slide. So our WLDP, as Tanisha mentioned, is pretty much similar to the Blueprint program. It's a 5-session program that takes place in the spring semester, but a lot of the recruitment and everything happens in the fall semester. So we go over things like diversity and leadership, mental health, advocacy, just trying to create a space for young women on grounds to kind of weigh into their leadership skills or develop them. So we just want to, as I said, create a space that empowers young women, that helps them with being empathetic leaders. And similar to Blueprint, we'll have an application in the fall. So if you're ever wondering what's going on, we'll have information at the end to kind of let you know how you can get in contact with us. As Tanisha mentioned before, we're located in the pack, and we'll have that information as well. Or you can reach out to me and I'll let you know.
Yep. And then moving forward with the next leadership development program. So this is a fairly new program that we're starting, and it's called Adults-ish. And it's a series that we developed to try to help our students kind of get used to being adults, but also developing leadership skills that are necessary for the everyday, like day-to-day type of thing. And so in recent years, there's no application for this program as of yet. We're still, in the planning and trying to make sure like we have a good understanding of what students need from this program, if that makes sense. But past sessions include managing like our expectations going into like job interviews and things like that, or even like on a day-to-day basis, developing community, financial awareness skills, so like budgeting and like budgeting, cooking, kitchen with student health and wellness. So we have like a kitchen located in our student health and wellness building on grounds where we can go in and just like help develop or help you all just cook. So you like sorry. But yeah, cooking kitchen with student health and wellness, negotiating salaries, and healthy relationships and boundaries. So and our topics aren't limited to these, but those are the ones that we've seen in the past and we've had like a good feedback for. All right, so up next, we're going to talk a little bit about University Programs Council. Again, this is an organization that we advise as student engagement. And so University Programs Council is a programming board made of students whose basically tasked with creating programs and different events and things around grounds from beginning to end. So for example, when you get here in the fall, we'll be putting on a Wahoo Welcome concert. UPC is in charge of, putting that concert together and letting you all see that. Britt, you want to take this slide?
I got you. So basically there are 6 exec positions that pretty much oversee the operations of UPC. And this is an area that the assistant director Tyree oversees. So if you're ever looking to get more information, he'll be the person you can contact as a starter. But they have a chair, the vice chair of programming, vice chair of outreach, and vice chair of membership, and then the vice chair of PR. And so if you're ever looking to kind of get your peers that are really putting on these programs for you all, and so this is a great way to kind of work your way up.
Yeah, also, if you all have any questions about any of this stuff, feel free. Is the chat open? I don't know if the chat is. Feel free to put them in the Q&A box. And I know Funlola will be really good at just getting those questions to us, and we can answer a few at the end if y'all have any. But yeah, we'll just go into UPC committees really quickly. So the members of the UPC hold the title of director, and they oversee various UPC programming committees. So the committees are Arts and Enrichment, Cultural Connections, Cinema, PGK, which is Concerts and Music, S&G, Smiles and Giggles, which is comedy. We put on a comedy show at least twice a year, once a semester. I think the one this year is gonna be sometime in October or November. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's in October or November. Late night, which the name is intuitive. They are in charge of the late night events and things that we put on here on grounds. And then specials, so they are in charge of the events that are like the example that comes to mind is that we have this really cool event called Bears and Scares that we put on every October. And basically you get to come and make your own teddy bear, kind of like Build-A-Bear workshop. And because it's been so popular in the past, it's become like one of our traditional events that we have. And so the specials committee is in charge of making sure that one that those events kind of happen on a regular basis, like the special events. And then marketing is, I feel like marketing is a little bit intuitive as well. So like the people in charge of like making sure that the posters are out and like people know about all of the events that UPC has happening. And there are about 10 to 20 general members within each committee. I know that UPC is going to have a table at the activities fair coming up. So if y'all are interested in joining any of these committees, or you just want to like have your opinions heard when it comes to like some of the fun things that we do here on grounds, definitely think about joining some of these committees. They make a lot of like decisions when it comes to just like entertainment and things. And so it would be I know it would be really empowering, number one, but like really cool to see some of your ideas come to life, because honestly, UPC has some of like the coolest events that I've seen at any college campus. So yep. Okay, so UPC by the numbers, this is just a little breakdown. I honestly think Tyree probably put this in here because he likes, what is it called, data. But so 34% of the student population attend at least one of UPC's 50 plus events each year. That's including, again, like I said, the Wahoo Welcome concert. We also have a Spring Fest concert. Bears and Scares is another one. There's another huge one that I'm missing, and I'm gonna be so upset if I don't remember it. I'm gonna give myself 2 seconds. Nope, I don't have it. So, but they put on a lot of events, and like I said, 34% of the student population attend those. 48% of all events attendees were first years. So this is like where you go to really just get, again, acclimated to grounds. You go to meet different people, especially if you haven't found like your niche group of people that you want to like kind of hang out with on a consistent basis. Definitely go to some of the UPC events where you can just like kind of sit and be in community with everyone. Because again, UPC is one of the main organizations, or the biggest organization that can put on events for the entire student body. And there's like no real specific target audience. It's supposed to be for everyone. So definitely, if you have a chance, which you will, I would take up the opportunity to go to some of their events. And then UPC spent $650,000 this year, averaging $12,000 per event, which averages $80. What is this in here? I mean, I guess if you find this helpful or beneficial, definitely, these are just the numbers for y'all to see.
I would say that's also to kind of give you an idea of the effort and how big these events can be.
Yeah.
So if you do become part of UPC and you have ideas, I would encourage you to dream big.
Yeah. There we go. That's good. Thank you, Brittany.
No problem. So we got student council. Student council is definitely a major part of UVA. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this. We primarily work with the organizations branch, and I'll talk more about that. But here you see the purpose of student council is to protect and improve the rights, opportunities, and quality of life of every student at the University of Virginia. And when I tell you that your peers go hard for making sure that you all are heard, and to try to give you all the best experience, at least that they're able to give or be a part of, I can definitely say that since I've been here, that's definitely been at the forefront. And so you'll see here the different branches for student council. You have support and access services. So they're charged with the management and establishment of direct service providers for students, including health insurance assistance, textbook access, and Airbus. So if you've already been to orientation or you're coming, you'll see like a big office, and it'll say like the SAC. Pretty much that is where student council is housed at, and it's on the first floor of Newcomb. But in there they have like, you'll always see like books on the shelf where you can check it out, or you can add books there. So that's one of the ways that they try to give back. The cabinet is responsible for implementing the president's initiatives and broad goals. These members focus on areas such as academic affairs, diversity and sustainability. Administration is responsible for oversight of internal operations and community relations. Organization branch, that's the one that I can speak to the most because that is the area that we as student engagement, but specifically my role works with the most. So there's like a vice president for organizations, and from there, the main way that the organization branch impacts you all is that they play a huge role in making sure they play a huge role in students creating organizations or CIOs on grounds. So no organization has gone through the process without student council saying yes, they can become an organization. They provide funding for CIOs as well. So pretty much everything that a CIO, unless they kind of run on their own and they're not seen as an official CIO, if you're an official CIO, you had to go through the process, which is ran by student council. To become a CIO, you had to request money if you choose to through student council, and also just advocating on behalf of CIOs when talking to upper administration. And that's also something where I play like the middle person between CIOs, students in general, with upper administration as well. But yeah, the organizations branch, they also oversee the student activities fair, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And then you have the representative body, which is committees. These committees are responsible for student advocacy and operations. And so now you got who's involved. Sorry, but with who's involved, Who's Involved is basically our hub for you all to get involved. So as I talked about with student council, being involved in like the application process for CIOs, for people to become CIOs, you have to go through Who's Involved to fill out that information. To look for CIOs, you'll fill out that information. And so on this slide, it kind of gives you like a little overview of what Who's Involved has to offer. So you have like an events tab, where you'll see like different programs that's happening throughout the week, or you'll just see programs that's happening just in general. It'll filter out different programs daily. The tags tab, if you're looking for a program with free food, that was always me, or free swag, that was definitely me too. Then you can filter it out to where it says like free swag, free food, or if you're looking for a specific program, whether it be maybe for class or something, or maybe it's like a first year specific thing, then if there's a tag for that, you'll be able to look it up and see. And that's how you can kind of filter it out, because you'll see in the next slide or so, there's over 750 organizations. So it's a lot to look through. And so you really do need sometimes like those tabs and stuff to really kind of filter through. You have an organizations tab where you can browse and find different CIOs. You can contact your CIO or the CIO that you're interested in via Who's Involved. The event planning resource tab is on there as well. I don't know how much you all will be involved in that, at least within your first semester, but I gather if you are looking to start an organization and you want to start having events and everything, you're going to need to be able to get to the event planning tab. And then there's experiences where it'll definitely just kind of just take you through like just you'll be able to kind of see something from start to finish on Who's Involved. And so as Tanisha mentioned earlier, CIO stands for Contracted Independent Organization. It's one of the categories of student organizations on grounds, but the most common, as I mentioned, is over 750. I think by the end of the semester, we hit 800. And around that time, we do renewals, so we might be back at like maybe 750. But every year there's a new organization or a new CIO that's being put into fruition. So yeah, CIOs, they're definitely a major part of the student experience at UVA, because you also, for all of them, you don't need to have an advisor. So it's your peers putting in the work of making sure that that CIO is up and running. And I'm here to just support you all and to assist however I can. And so what are the CIO categories? So this is also a good way to filter out what CIOs you're interested in, because as we said, it's a lot. So we got arts, public service, cultural, ethnic, club sports, social/hobby, academic/professional, and then religious/spiritual. And so this is actually a little preview of what Who's Involved looks like. So you'll see like the organizations page, and then the second picture is kind of giving you like a glance at what it looks like with the different events that's happening, or it'll showcase different CIOs. And I think the third picture is where it has like the drop down for choosing which category you want to look at. So even if you're not looking necessarily for a CIO, you can also click on club sport if that's something that you're interested in or a part of. And then some of these do also kind of fall into multiple categories. So you might see some CIOs in multiple categories when you filter through. And then we have the save the date for the Student Council Activities Fair for this fall. And it's usually the first Monday before classes start. And so we usually happen in the Peabody Lawn, South Lawn, and then at the theater. But also I would highly recommend following the Student Council page if you can, because they'll have more information as well, because this is something that Student Council, they put on. So they go through the whole process of getting all the organizations registered and kind of setting up the whole event.
Yep, and I will say one last thing about the activities fair, that it can seem a little bit overwhelming, like when you first like walk up to it and you're just like, oh my goodness, everything is everywhere. But the reality is that is probably going to be the only time that you see all of the organizations or as many organizations that participate in the activities fair in the same place, and y'all will have the same type of access to it. So if you can, and if your schedule is allowing it, if your mental capacity is allowing it, in those first few days of being on grounds, definitely go check it out. Even if you're just like kind of signing up, giving your computing ID to different people to get on those newsletters, is going to be very instrumental in shaping your university experience. So if you can go to the activities fair, definitely go, for sure.
And I'll just add on to this. I'm an introvert. So my first time, it looked just like this picture. It is packed, but and the reason why I said I'm an introvert is because I know this can be like, okay, this is too many people, it's a lot going on. But take your time. You can dip and dab wherever you like it, as far as trying to see like what interests you. You don't have to do it all in one day. That's why Who's Involved is there. You don't have to do that all in one day. That can be a lot to look through too. That's why I'm here as well, to help if you need to just sit down and just say, that's a lot to look at. Can I just talk to somebody to kind of talk me through what I should be looking at to kind of get to where I want to be, or I have an idea? Then that's what we're here for. There's also a student activities fair that they have in the spring, I believe, as well. But this, if you want the full experience, like this is the largest one. And you don't have to do everything at once, but it is a cool experience.
Yep. Okay, so this is, I guess, pivoting back to student engagement specifically. So here are just a few of the programs that we've put on over this past year. So we have like at 1515, again, the building that I told y'all at the beginning that I manage over on the corner, 1515 University Avenue, if y'all want the address. We put on a March Madness championship showing, and we brought in like pizzas, and we put the game up on the big screens and everything, and it was a really fun time. We also partnered with some of the parents here at UVA and put on the Who Needs a Hug event. So that's an event in the fall and in the spring, right before finals, where the parents come and they're just like all around grounds giving out hugs and just like good vibes and good energy and encouragement before, you know, finals like really just set in and people are like just really balls of nerves during that time. Again, at 1515, we put on like trivia night. So this one was our women's history trivia that we put on during Women's History Month back in March. And then we also do something, and this is more of a consistent event that we did. It's called Tasty Tuesdays, again at 1515. This past year, we definitely focused a lot of our programming at 1515. Just because we wanted to get students back into that space post-pandemic and like let you all know that it's a little bit more, it's more than a steady space. It's definitely meant for you all to go there and like just chill out, have fun, eat your lunch, take a nap if you want to take a nap. All of those good things. But again, we had Tasty Tuesdays at 1515, and we brought in just like various local food vendors for students to get some food, chill out, hang with us for free. So, you know, Tuesdays at 1515, definitely swing by for Tasty Tuesdays if you have a chance. And this is a picture of the old pack, but it's a pack nonetheless. So we've definitely have updated the furniture and just like the vibe in the pack since this picture was taken, but it's still in the same location. So again, when you get to grounds, if you've been to grounds already, then I'm sure you've been to Newcomb Hall at some point, or at least the bookstore. If you come into Newcomb Hall from the bookstore, this is literally straight back into the building. And it's this big, beautiful space where y'all can just come in, kick back with us, chill, study if you want to study, eat your lunch and stuff that you get from the pad where the Chick-fil-A and Subway and all that is. And just have a good time with us.
And if there's like a lot of the programs are generally ran in 1515 because it's a larger space, and as Nisha said, we're trying to get that space to be used more by students. But if you're looking for a place just throughout the day and you're close to the Rotunda or you just want to stay in Newcomb, the pack is open, but we also have events in there as well. And that's typically where you'll find UPC, Blueprint, all of our student orgs. And then this is how you can contact us. Well, and this is also how you can get to who's involved. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. There's usually somebody around. Once you get the grounds, you can definitely stop in there. Our offices are also located in the pack, except for Tanisha. Tanisha will be in 1515. So if you need us, we will be around. So we got one last question. Well, we have one question for you all. But what are you most excited about when you arrive on grounds? No, I can't see the chat, so.
Yeah, if y'all wanted to answer that question, definitely put your answer in the chat. But we do have a question from one of our guests. It says, what is the process like starting your own organization?
Well, there's a few things, but the main thing is that you need to have 10 members. I think that's the part that usually kind of throws people off, is just having 10 members. So you need to have 10 members, you need to have a constitution. And as far as the constitution, we have like a template on student council's website. So you don't have to start from scratch with that. And also student council on the student council website, it also has like the instructions as well. But sorry, y'all. I'm getting over a little illness right now. But yeah, basically I would say start with getting your constitution and start with getting your 10 members.
Yeah, and I will also add, definitely look through the organizations and things that we already have to see if there's something that kind of aligns with what you want to start, or that you think you might can just like kind of fit into, just because there's 750 plus organizations, of course, that we have here on grounds. And so if there's something that kind of seems similar, then maybe you can just like join that and make it even bigger, and create a joint legacy. Because I think a lot of the times our students, and I know like I used to be a student as well, but a lot of the times our students want to come in and reinvent the wheel, right? But maybe sometimes like your effect and your legacy can be a little bit more amplified if you are joining forces with someone else. So not saying don't start your own organization, because we don't have everything, and we love, seeing the different things that people can bring. But also, however, we want to make sure that your ideas and your ideas and your just like goals have a place that they can flourish and that they can last. We don't want it to be something that, you start your first year and then at the end of your fourth year, it's done. We don't see that organization anymore. So yeah, again, with your members and everything, definitely think about, just joining forces with other people as well. Collaboration.
Yeah, and it's a lot of times because some of the sorry y'all, but it's pretty much, I forgot to mention as well, when you're trying to start an organization, you're gonna need to sign like a CIO agreement and all that, but some of that stuff will just come within the process of filling it out online. But as Tanisha said, there are plenty of organizations. While I still encourage you to bring whatever you feel like is missing on grounds, because sometimes it's very specific, but sometimes it's a matter of creating a committee within the organization, because you don't want to spread yourself too thin, and you don't want to spread the people that you're looking to be a part of your organization thin either. We have any other questions in Q&A? Okay.
I don't think there are any more questions. Oh, the chat is closed.
Mm.
Oh, oh, my bad. I forgot we're on a webinar. But yeah, if y'all wanted to share any of those ideas, again, if you haven't had your orientation session yet, we'll be at the resource fair on the second day of everyone's orientation at a table. So definitely just come say hi, stop by. We're also doing a giveaway for a prize pack at the end of orientation for each orientation session. So if you come to our table, fill out a little survey that we'll have for you all. And I should have put it in the presentation tonight, but I wasn't even thinking. But fill out a little survey, follow us on Instagram, and you could be entered to win a whole bunch of cute and cool UVA gear and swag as soon as you get here on grounds. So if you haven't been to orientation, definitely come see us at the resource fair. Our Instagram, is at UVA Student Engagement. So, yeah, UVA student engagement. And we'll also be like posting and reposting different events and things that we have going on. Also follow, actually I don't know their handle, so I won't say that. But definitely get on Instagram and all the socials. And I know you all have probably done this already, but follow all of the organizations and different things that you have as well.
And I'd say for student council, just so you can also just keep up with the activities fair stuff. It's just UVA Student Council. Definitely follow them as well.
But I guess if that is all the questions, thank you all for coming and chatting with us tonight. I really enjoyed this. I hope not that I listen. It's been a long day, but I hope you all have had I hope this was helpful for y'all. And again, come by and see us. I'll be over at 1515 in the fall. Everyone else will be located in the PAC. If you have any questions, if you need any additional support, definitely, or if you just want to hang out and chat, we're all open, we're all free. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brittany, and thank you, Tanisha, for telling us a lot about student engagement. So with that, we're going to wrap up another Wednesday webinar, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good night. Bye-bye.